We were in San Diego. I went to work and Sae Mee wasn't there. It was just because it was just me and Chris and Nate and Eric working, and they're overstaffed. But Sae Mee stayed home. But she made me lunch, and we used to wonder why my sandwiches were always all squished. And then I remember the one time I said, "Hey, make me lunch, woman," and step on it.
What means that you make lunch and then step
on it, yeah.
it?
And so you stepped on it, and that's why the sandwiches are all squished in San Diego.
Make lunch.
She was also, Sae Mee's a big fan of Lucy.
Huh? Hot.
I don't know too much about
I
that.
don't know.
Is that the Lucille Ball show?
Yeah, I guess there's a famous episode where she was making grapes.
Oh,
wine. You're just stepping on it.
Well, yeah, that's how you make wine. You step on the wine.
Yeah, you do.
Or you step on the grapes.
That's pretty gross.
That's why it tastes weird.
Who came up with that? Stepping on grapes?
So does this mean that like alcohol comes from foot sweat?
It's fungus. It's foot fungus.
So just like concentrated alcohol is just like from between the toes. Just get all the gushy stuff out.
It's homemade.
That's where the strong stuff comes from.
Is that a little dent in
어머,
your windshield?
핸드폰.
My pocket.
Just go straight. Run over that guy. 10 points.
Why are you smiling like that?
Maybe I misunderstood.
What do you think he said?
What do you think I said?
I thought he knows how to go work.
I do. Straight. Thing.
핸드폰 줘봐.
Allie sent me a text. She said, "Were you there? Oh, you were there." She said, "Does your poop smell?" And I was like, "Why?" And she said that she read somewhere, or somebody told her that if you chew your food more than 40 times, your poop won't smell. And she said, since I'm the only person she knows that chews their food 40 times.
Do you really? Do you like count? Or?
Well, I don't think I chew it everything that much, but I have a reputation of eating really slow, like really, really slow. And then one time, my friend Eric and I, we were like, all right, let's just do a test. We're each gonna take the same amount of bite. We were at a diner and we had chicken pot pie or something. And he's like, we're both eat at the same time, and then see how many times you need to chew before you swallow. And it took him 3, and it took me 40. And I wasn't trying to be funny or anything. I just normally, And so.
Doesn't it get all nasty and mushy in your mouth?
It's just not. I don't think about it, But I don't think I chew that much anymore. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm sure you're used to it. But when somebody starts trying to learn how to chew more, it's like, oh, why am I still chewing on this food?
Maybe. I don't know, but it's just natural. I don't think about it.
It feels like you're eating some food somebody chewed on.
Like a baby bird?
Somebody already chewed on, but it was you that chewed on it. Yeah.
I always want to do a baby bird. I think Cat Papa
You should
May.
do a baby bird.
Huh? Do a baby bird.
And then
Yeah, go do the cop. Get the cop.
Let's get the car and tap on the cop car in front of us. Let's try to scare
And
him.
then the light comes on and we're like, gotta go back to my car.
This guy.
He's got a bumper sticker. I didn't know cops had bumper sticker.
Huh?
It says believe. And you gotta get really close to read it. Believe. How close can I get?
That's how he traps people. He's like, you were tailgating me.
What does that say?
Uh-huh. Is it an alien?
Believe something really, really small print on a bumper sticker where it should
Believe in glasses.
Why would you write something on a bumper sticker that small? People go around looking at bumper stickers on cars, like walking around, and like get all up close to it, get on their knees.
Is it this one?
스트레이트인데 알아.
Oh, whoops.
Why would you go in this one?
You're 5 minutes slower.
Don't worry.
In a half mile, turn left.
You turn.
Can you turn?
You know you turn. No, you know you didn't know. I know you turn. Whoa!
Oh, water come down.
You spell it?
600 feet, turn right on southwest.
Oh, but they do say that
Turn right on southwest.
it's better to chew your food more.
Yeah.
Tell me this. Yeah, because it's less work for your body to excrete acids and stuff. And And then, but you don't really chew your food, right, Aaron?
Well, for a while there, I was making a point of trying to chew it more.
You don't need the teeth. Tooth.
You just engulf it.
I do like the pelican that ate the other bird. The snake that ate the alligator.
The snake that ate the alligator?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, really? I saw when they found an anaconda, and they had a big belly and it died, and they cut it open. You know, Sae Mee, a big snake is called anaconda. Big, like a very very big snake, you know. And it was dead, and it had a big belly, and they cut it open, and inside was another snake. So it ate another giant snake.
Or
Like it wasn't digested or anything. It literally looked like it just had eaten it. So how's that possible? Like a giant snake, like maybe 15 feet, ate another giant 15-foot snake. Isn't that weird? It must took a long time too. How does that work? It didn't chew its food. That's its problem. It should chew its food. So its poop probably smells really bad, but it died. Oh, then so I said to Allie, I was like, I don't know if my poop smells because unless it's really bad, you can tell. But most people, when they're pooping, you can't really tell because you're in it. You know, you're in that smell, and it's slowly making that smell. Does that make sense? I guess if you fart, you're like, oh, it doesn't smell bad, or you can't tell. You're too close to it, you know? Like your artwork's too close to it, you can't tell if it's bad or not. Because sometimes you fart, you don't think it stinks, right? You fart all the time.
No, but usually it stinks.
Yeah, well maybe, and I was saying, well maybe, because I was like, I don't think Aaron chews his food a lot, and his farts usually stink. Maybe you should chew your food more.
No, I know. I went through that. I did that.
You should do it.
I made a point.
Eat your vegetables too, Aaron, and make sure you get enough sleep. Drink enough
Vegetables-
water.
Vegetables, that's what gets you.
Broccoli.
Cabbage, broccoli, all that fiber. Nuts. Beans.
What is the chemical in like beans in broccoli and stuff that makes you fart more? Is it something? Is
It's
it
just
is
fiber.
it tryptophan?
Isn't it just fiber?
I think it's tryptophan.
I think it's fiber.
It's just fiber?
I think so.
Any kind of fiber? How about fiberglass? How about Fiber Goes West? What is that song? That famous song from the movie?
The original one or the Fiber Goes West?
No, the original. Isn't there a really popular song? It was like A Whole New World. It was really good. It was like
There
I'll
are
touch
no cats in America.
No, not that one.
The streets are.
That was okay, but
paved
there was like a really sweet like ballad one. You know? Anybody know?
Somewhere out there, beneath
It's easily been 25 years since I've even heard of that movie.
Really? It's 25 years? That's good. I'm gonna look it up tonight. What's it called? Somewhere Out There?
the song?
Yeah.
Probably.
You know,
I like
how,
Fiber Goes West better.
it had better animation. It was more like stylistic. You see Secret of the Nim?
Secret of the Nim?
Yeah. I remember that was kind of creepy when I saw it, but I liked it as a
Yeah.
kid. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird, but kind of cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, you know how
It
people...
wasn't weird, but it was.
It was like kind of magical.
As a kid, it might have been, but
It was a little creepy.
it was a little dark.
Yeah.
But it was just, I think it was kind of just a basic sort of adventure story.
What was magical about it? I forgot.
Magic.
I remember something was floating or something. Some kind of something.
Something was floating.
What was the secret?
Uh,
What was the secret?
that they were all just, it was all just a movie. That their reality was all just a movie for us to enjoy. They found that out at the end.
Nah.
Try again.
Try. Pass.
The secret was that Nim was sleeping with Mouskowitz.
Mouskowitz? I like Mouskowitz. What's Mouskowitz? That sounds like something.
The secret was that the baby was the baby was the baby of the father. The father was the father of the baby.
Hey, it was a little embarrassing yesterday. I was drawing two people. Sae Mee, I was drawing two people, right? And they sat, a girl and this guy, and they sat down, and I said, "Are you guys a couple?" And then the girl goes, No, it's my stepdad.
It'd be funny. It'd been even more embarrassing if you said, "Are you guys a lesbian couple?"
Oh, that'd be funny. I'm not that bad at mixing up.
We draw a
Oh
lot
my
of
god.
It was so weird because
Yeah.
the guy was like, he looked older. My reaction, Sammy, was this guy looked older, you know, but he was kind of short, and he was very like shy, you know, like kind of like quiet and shy, like he's very like. So he seemed, that seems very young. Doesn't seem very confident, you know. And
No, straight.
and so I was like, oh, he's kind of old, but I don't know. Sometimes there's a young couple, young person, old couple, you know. And I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
In a quarter mile.
So I don't know why I said it, because I was like, and then, but she was okay. She didn't really seem like very weird or anything, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. I should have been like, just kidding, or like, I just didn't say anything, and I just kept drawing it. And but they really liked it, and the family really liked it, and then they came back and got a frame. So I guess they're okay.
You should just been like, I was just kidding.
I'm an idiot.
That'd been cool.
I think you're right. Yeah. So that was embarrassing. Sometimes it's so hard to tell if there's a couple too.
Story. 이거 하면 돼.
One time I drew these two people, and I said, "Hey, is this your grandpa here?" And she said, "No, this is my baby."
No, it's stupid. Sometimes you don't know.
And you just don't need to know, but you ask anyway because it's too quiet.
No, it's not that. It's just that it's like Cora and I. We drew two girls, and I was thinking in my head. I was like, are they a couple or not? And then finally, one of them kissed him, and I was like, oh, okay.
There's so many
So-
lesbian couples
Yeah, there's a lot.
that you almost want to ask, but then like, if it was any other place,
Yeah.
you would never say, "Hey, are you a lesbian couple?" Of course, you don't say lesbian couple anyway. You just say, "Are you a couple?"
Oh, so I drew a
But
couple.
would you ever do that with two guys?
If I got
Suppose it
the
depends how they act.
yeah, it depends on the act. If I feel the energy or something, you know.
I know, but like sometimes guys are not, but they seem like they are, or they are, but they don't know they are.
Huh? Really?
Then you say it to those guys, like, because I think guys it's riskier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine like, I don't think I've ever asked two guys, "Are you guys a couple?" Have you ever asked two guys if they're a couple?
No. I'm trying to think of any times where I felt like there could be or not.
Oh, there's been times when I've not been sure.
I think it's harder to tell sometimes. They're a couple sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a little hard to tell.
Oh, yesterday I drew. No, 2 days ago I drew a couple, lesbian couple. You know, definitely I could tell they were a couple. And I drew the more manly girl. I gave her breasts, like, hint at it,
Yeah.
And I showed them the sketch, and she points to her body, little body, and she says, "What is this?" And I said, "Oh, it's her shirt, At first I didn't register. She's like, "No, what is this?" She's pointing to her breasts, I guess she didn't want me to draw her breasts. Like, hint at it,
Oh,
I didn't accentuate or anything. I just did a little, a little bump.
were they big?
No. I mean, she was wearing a shirt, but I just hinted at it. And she's like, "What is this?" She kept on saying it over and over, and like half like smiling, half like serious. And I didn't know what to say. Like, at first
Like,
I thought,
you're supposed to know that you're supposed to omit them.
I guess so. Is that I don't
I
know.
never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I've never had that issue before.
I mean, the girlfriend was cool. She's like, don't worry about it. Like, what do you stop it? I thought because I just colored it really shitty. I thought maybe she's pointing at that because I hacked it out. That's what I thought because I barely cut. I just went like, swoop, swoop, swoop.
You're like, somebody's finally calling me on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. That'd be funny.
I have this new theory, or not a new theory, but this approach. It's when I hack sketches out, they're fine, they're just tame, I don't really care. They'll look like them, it's good enough. But if I do it in that style, I'm gonna really like just rush the coloring. I mean, it's gonna look fine, but it's gonna be not precise, just kind of messy, but in a controlled messy.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah. So, but it still looks fine because it's consistent. But I'm not taking my time. But I'm sure they'll be okay with it. So if anybody ever says like, but then I can just get it over with, and so I don't have to spend as much time on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody ever says, how come it's not as, how come it's kind of messy, I was like, okay, either that or I can draw my crazy style, That's gonna be a trade-off. Like my crazy style, it's gonna be.
But hold on. I missed something. So they say, how come it's blah, 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 and then you say what?
It's never happened, but this guy really got turned around. Wait, they should just park there. No, I'm just saying.
Think he was probably going the wrong way down this road, and we caught him. Or I don't know. All right, so what now?
When I do a sketch I spend time on it. You know, it's pretty clean. Everything's really like precise. There's no messy marks. Everything's precise. The coloring is pretty. Like I spent time on it. You know. Yeah. But it's more exaggerated, more crazier. But then if people want my tame style, I'm just gonna make it pretty rough, but it's gonna look tame. You know. So that's the trade-off you're gonna get.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
All right. So what happens if they say something? That's the
They've
trade-off
never-
you get. You have to get the crazy. If
It's
you want
like-
the nice colors.
It's like yeah. If you want me to clean it up, then I'm gonna draw it crazy. You know. So because I just want to get them done. They'll hopefully be okay with it. It's a nice sketch, and I'm sure that's what they prefer if they want a tame one. But that's gonna be a trade-off in my head. Just because I don't want to spend time on it, I don't want to spend time on a crazy one, the one I like.
I think I follow.
That makes sense.
I got you.
So, but I always I'm always jealous of people that can color loose and it still looks good. You know, I've seen people do it, or even like park people where you just really rough it in and it doesn't. They can color outside the lines a little bit, but it's consistent and your coloring strokes are confident. So even if you go out the lines, it's okay. Like I feel like Allie, her park sketch, she draws really fast, and sometimes her lines will overlap or something. But her, it's very confident lines. It look good. And the coloring's like, it's slightly messy, but it's consistent, so it looks good. I like that. So she could draw fast and and save time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. People can do that. I feel like sometimes I can do that, but sometimes I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Your stuff is usually pretty clean overall, like everything. Like when I hack sketches out, you can tell I hacked it, but when you guys do it, it still looks pretty clean. I just don't know how to. I don't know. I just don't care enough, or can do it either.
I think sometimes. Yeah, it's like if you're consistent about being, like with sort of a mentality toward the coloring and the line, if you're consistent with it, like even if it's more rough, like it'll still feel good. But then like, let's say you start thinking about some other thing, like, I wonder if I can do that. Or it's like you see something that you want to, like, but if you break from that, then it just throws the whole thing off, and then the whole thing looks messy.
Yeah,
I think
it's just gotta be consistent messy.
Yeah.
I feel like we're talking about something where. Oh yeah. You were saying, Eric Goodwin, something. You could be a little more crazier because you're an artist.
Oh, he's talking about the way you talk to the customer.
Yeah, you can be a little silly because people account, artists as a little weird anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I said but you have to be consistent. You can't be suddenly normal and then suddenly crazy.
Yeah.
For a customer, because they only have that amount of time to experience you. If you're consistent like a long period of time, but a new customer doesn't spend that time to know that you're consistent and being inconsistent. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have to form that in that 20-minute span. You have to be consistently weird for that to pull that off. You can't just suddenly just start, being weird.
Yeah, but I like him. I like just the idea of just the fact that we're artists and the fact that we're doing something weird. Like, I just like the idea of having freedom. And I guess you would be talking about whether it works or not. And that's something, but I just like thinking about the freedom that we can get in terms of that we can get talking to the customers and stuff.
Yeah, no, I like it too. I think if you made visually your look a little more weird too, You should just do a reverse mohawk or something. We should all do that. And go, oh, this guy's weird. Well, let's not mess with him. He might, if he gets mad, he might kill me or something. So I won't reject this drawing. right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye. See you.
Are you waiting on me? Bye.